Hello, and welcome to...
Oh, bruh. Hello and welcome to the Just Mates podcast.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
Okay, no, take two. Hello and welcome to the Just Mates podcast, where we aim to destigmatise men not speaking up about mental health. Remember to follow our social pages on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter at Just Mates Pod. You can listen to and subscribe to our podcast on YouTube, Spotify, Anchor and Apple Podcast. All the links are provided in the description. In today's episode, we will be discussing seasonal depression.
Sorry, it's just that first bit gets to me.
Seasonal depression. So it's, a bit... Anyway, seasonal depression, Sam.
Yeah, I like this topic, mate, because whenever winter or like autumn hits, like my mood just drops.
Yeah. And it's because like the dark, gloomy days are approaching, and there's not much to do, and you have to sit in all the time. Yeah,
I think it's just the days are shorter, really. Like as soon as it gets dark, I'm like instantly in bed.
Yeah. Well, if just for the listeners, it is an actual a disorder which is called seasonal affective disorder, abbreviated to SAD, ironically. And 6% of the population are affected by SAD with symptoms severe enough to disrupt their lives. And 6% doesn't sound like a lot, but that is quite significant.
I think it's going to be even worse this year as well, mate, because
of course, you're
not going to be... Well, you're going to be at home, aren't you, doing work, the majority of people, especially with the way COVID's going.
Yeah.
It's going to get dark. You're going to be dark and gloomy in your room. You're just going to not going to want to do any work. I think when you're actually in an office with people and it's quite lively, that really, really helps. Well, it did for me last year anyway.
And I think as well with COVID that from the start, as much as it was horrible being in lockdown, the weather was really good.
Yeah.
So it kind of had like a perfect imbalance, kind of, where obviously we were like, as our first episode ever was about lockdown, it was obviously affecting everyone's mental health, and a lot more people are becoming depressed or coming out of that, I don't know, just coming into that mode of depression. But the sunshine helped, I felt. Because you could actually sit in a garden or go for a long walk or whatever. But now with COVID, and the weather being bad, is kind of like there's no balance, there's no positivity that people see.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's just, I think this episode we want to maybe help people that suffer from this and try and find alternative ways to get ourselves out of that like depressive hole.
Yeah, and it's a difficult one really, because you can't change the weather.
No, but you can, and you can't really pinpoint anything because everybody deals with it different. A lot of people are winter lovers, and they find themselves more in winter.
I like winter because it's well, not because of the weather and stuff, but I do like snow with it, although we don't really get it anymore here. Like if we do, it's quite rare. But I like the community side of going towards the end of the year, Christmas parties, Christmas do's and stuff, but we just don't have that now.
No, of course. And like all the festivities, even with Halloween approaching, obviously not that I ever did or do, but kids going trick-or-treating, that's going to affect like parents as well, because they're not that, them kids are so used to being able to do that, and it's going to be a bit tricky with obviously germs and everything, and I don't think trick-or-treat is going to be a thing.
It's not going to be a thing, I don't think, at all. But it might even be... I mean, the government hasn't even announced it, has it? Have they? Like, it might even be banned, you know?
Yeah, it might even be fine-worthy.
Yeah.
But just on the flip side of that, like, even parents get quite energetic and enthusiastic for their kids to like take part in this kind of festivity and the Halloween season. They're going to be ripped of that joy, kind of. I mean, you can have indoor parties, but even that will be restricted to 6, and it's just not going to be the same. Nothing is the same this year.
No, I have a feeling that this winter is going to be even more difficult than the start of summer. You know, like with all the lists, like because the sun was out, I kind of felt a bit left out. Like, you know, I'm normally going out to festivals, I'm normally meeting mates, having a couple of drinks, doing things, but now it's this is probably going to be a really difficult really difficult autumn/winter, especially staying inside. Like, oh my god, like I can't imagine anything worse. Like,
Yeah, I mean, even now, I hate being really like indoors long enough that I'm here long enough to ponder on my thoughts. And with obviously winter coming, shorter days, the dark gets dark earlier. It's just, it doesn't feel, or in any mode, it doesn't sound positive. But we've got to find a positive side to it somehow.
well, we could tackle it like, I mean, I just cannot picture. They're telling uni students now they might not be able to go home for Christmas, right? And equally, you might not be able to go and spend time with your family at Christmas because flu season's coming about, isn't it? So,
yeah. Well, on reflection of that, Boris Johnson has announced we don't want your grandparents to be alone this Christmas. Go and see them. So,
what?
Is he killing them off?
What the what? Really?
Did you not hear that? He said we are doing everything we can to ensure that Christmas won't be different, or something like along those lines. And Boris Johnson basically said that we'll stop the rules for one day.
For one day? What? Yeah, because COVID's going to have a break on Christmas.
But yeah, COVID knows that 25th December is here. Let's just take a break from this.
It's difficult, really, because I want, like, that is obviously what I want, to go and see family and stuff, but at the same time, it's like you could be putting your family at risk.
Yeah, and I know this is a bit of a controversial thing for me to say, but he literally, I don't know if you know of the Eid in my religion. Basically, the day before it was Eid this year, he announced a massive curfew and a lockdown and restricted it to like 3 people or whatever it was. But now on the flip side, it's a Christianity festival, 25th December. He's probably got family he wants to see, and he's kind of making an allowance.
Yeah, well, that's not on. Well, you got to consider, like, as well, because this is Western, isn't it? It's Western, but at the same time, like, you have to consider from people from all beliefs and all situations.
Exactly, and you can't make one rule for someone else and another for someone different. So it doesn't work like that, especially in the world we live in now.
Yeah, a mixture of cultures and stuff. I mean, it's a given. Like, you do your research. Whoever like put that idea forward to him is a bit of a twat.
Yeah, I just but yeah, I'll leave the politics aside. But anyway, yeah, Christmas will be quite a difficult one.
Yeah, and so let me just look at the symptoms of SAD here. I mean, it's obvious. It coincides with depression. They often call it winter depression.
Yeah.
Me, it does start creeping up toward like around autumn because the days get shorter and stuff. So, a persistent low mood, a loss of pleasure of interest in normal activities, irritability, feelings of despair, guilt, and worthlessness, feeling lethargic, which is lack of energy, and sleeping during the day, sleeping longer than normal and finding it hard to get up in the morning, craving carbohydrates and gaining weight. So, to me, that's just depression.
Yeah, it is depression overall, but it's kind of like there's a booster on it for Christmas or for winter as such.
Yeah, and I suppose this is like to a lot of people, this is temporary, hence seasonal.
Yeah, of course, and we're not saying obviously people can be depressed in the summer. I mean, there's no written law that you can't be, but it's just I feel like the sun is an acting antidepressant as such.
Well, it is, mate. It's vitamin D, isn't it?
Yeah, so I mean it has its benefits, but obviously like all the symptoms you've just listed, like sleep problems, being lethargic, overeating, it is commonly known that obviously you comfort eat in this season as well. It's just but I don't think people look at these symptoms and think, depression. And I think maybe if you've got friends and family around you that are you can link to one of these problems that we've listed, check in on them, and maybe just like even a simple text can go such a long way when you're feeling like this.
Yeah, definitely. Just do as you and me do, on a weekly basis, sometimes even daily. Just text or call, see how you're doing, and it does go a long way, because if you're secluded and isolated, it just can snowball into something much worse.
Yeah, and often there's just a negative connotation with the word moody and being moody, and obviously it's not a positive thing. But if people around you are, in this season especially, being a lot more moodier than usual, there's a reason behind it. There's things that are triggering them. They might be not sleeping properly. Someone might have said something that's made them overthink. There's so many it's like a flow chart, isn't it? Like, is he happy? No. Why isn't he happy? Has he had something to eat? Yes. No. You know what I mean? Like, there's so many different avenues to finding out the actual root of the problem. So just be a bit more considerate, I think.
Yeah, like you were saying, and especially during the winter months, because I can be quite affected by seasonal affective disorder, as I've said, and looking back now, the times I've been most deeply depressed are during the winter.
Yeah.
Definitely, and that just makes Christmas even more difficult.
I think we can as well. You can tie this in with winter being a trigger for people, because, say for example, someone's lost someone in their family or friends, and that person isn't a part of your Christmas season or your winter season, whereas you'd normally be doing things with that person or family member. But there's always a light at the end of the tunnel, and we always say stuff like this, but it's because it's true. Like, nobody should be dwelling on things. You can't change what's happened. You can't change who's gone. I think they'd want to be looking down at you being happy as well.
Yes, mate.
So I know it's a bit of that kind of took a downward spiral with like obviously death, but it is a big impact on people.
Yeah, no, it is, and just reaching out and just checking if someone's all right is equally brilliant. Sure. So I'm just, because I want to get down to some facts, and we can kind of talk about this as well. So,
yeah,
what causes SAD? So I'm just reading off the NHS here. The main theory is that the lack of sunlight might stop a part of the brain which is called the hypothalamus. Is that how you say hypothalamus?
Yes, I think so.
Yeah, I could never pronounce that.
Okay.
Working properly, which may affect the production of melatonin. Melatonin is a hormone that makes you feel sleepy. In people with SAD, the body may produce it in higher than normal levels. Production of serotonin. Serotonin is a hormone that affects your mood, appetite, and sleep. A lack of sunlight may lead to lower serotonin levels, which is linked to feelings of depression. And your body's internal clock, circadian rhythms, which I hark on a lot about in terms of having a structure and routine and getting at the same time every day. So your body uses sunlight to time various important functions, such as when you wake up. So lower light levels during the winter may disrupt your body clock and lead to symptoms of SAD. With that last one, you can get these amazing I don't even know if they be referred to as alarm clocks, but they're like lights or something that gradually bring in light exposure.
I've heard of them, yeah. I know what you mean.
Yeah, they're supposed to be quite good.
I think it's because it's organic as well in a sense, what that does for you. Because like obviously in the summer, some people, I don't, but I have a little hole in a gap where some light comes through. But a lot of people rely on natural sunlight to wake them up.
Yeah, I do.
And obviously when the days are darker, quicker, and it's the nights are longer, the sunlight isn't coming through until like 8 o'clock in the morning, and obviously like you just said, it disrupts people's routine and like inner body clock. Yeah. And I didn't really think of it like that, but I feel like I've suffered from that a lot of the time as well.
Yeah, the clocks are called Lumies.
Okay.
Lumies, yeah, Lumi body clocks. They're like I think you can I mean, there's different types of. You can. This is only just one brand I'm looking at, but they're about 80 quid to 100 quid, and that could save you this winter if you just buy one.
Yeah, that's a really good referral thing. Maybe we can put a link in the description or something.
Yeah, I'll throw one in. I've always wanted to get one as well, but I just know they're expensive. But at the same time, it's like you can't put a price on your mental health. Can you?
Exactly. I just wanted to quickly say as well, all the topics we've discussed are all things probably that majority of the things anyway that we've experienced ourselves, Sam.
Yeah.
And I do feel it's helped us more than it probably has helped anyone else, because we are now more understanding of our own triggers on things. And like, there's so many things that you've mentioned throughout the pods that I've been like, oh yeah, I didn't really think of that, and vice versa. And then we've spoken about it after the pod and we listen back and stuff. I just feel like it's important to highlight the fact that we're doing this because it is helpful information, and it might be stuff that brings more insight into other people's lives, and realize there's things wrong with people and we can actually diagnose it.
I mean, and we don't necessarily have to be. I mean, I know we've had some quite intelligent people on the podcast, really. Simon as an example, and Don was great, and your other PT friend was fantastic. But like, you don't have to be an expert just to know the basics, and if you know, you can dive into it. I mean, we're not the most intelligent people to talk about the subjects, but at the same time, just recognizing the top layer stuff can actually go a long way.
Exactly, and it's just like peeling an onion, isn't it? Right, like the first layer's off, and then you can start digging in and in and in, and then finding out what's the root of the problem.
Yeah, so you might listen to this pod and think, oh, well, I get sad during winter, and then that's your first step in the process, and then you can do some research and then maybe contact your local GP to sort something out, or a therapist, or just
yeah. I just feel like it's important people know that even though we're not professionals, we are speaking from experience, and we mention things that have helped us ourselves. So if they can help us, there's surely got to be someone with similar mindsets that it can help too.
Yeah, and you're 100% right there, mate.
So yeah, sorry to waffle on there, but yeah, I just thought it'd be important to mention that.
Yeah.
But yeah, should we say, you talked about the cause of it. Should we say maybe a cure? Well, on this website I'm looking at, it says, what treatment is there for SAD? It says a perfect cure is going to a brightly lit climate, whether skiing or somewhere hot, any excuse for a holiday, which is true, obviously.
But we're not now.
Obviously, exactly, which is what will probably lead on to. That was Christmas time. Most companies get like a week and a half off or 2 weeks off. I know we did at where we worked, and depending obviously if you're in retail or wherever you are, but a lot of people use that as a little getaway to go somewhere else. And strangely enough, a lot of people tend to go to hotter countries to escape the winter.
Yeah.
So it just reflects on the fact that sunshine is kind of, people crave it.
I've always had this subtle feeling that British people are moody because of the weather.
Yeah, well, we don't really have the best weather all year round, do we?
No, whereas you go to Los Angeles or something, then I'd imagine everybody's, a
completely different scenario, and it can naturally just affect your mood anyway. So it's just it's sad, because the reason I brought this topic up and we're talking about it is because we know that we go through these things, and we kind of want to find a cure ourselves.
Yeah, I think so as well. Like, I didn't really second guess that I should have bought like one of the clocks if I didn't talk about it.
Exactly, yeah. So there's just little things that can help, and we also mentioned routine as well. Are these alarm clocks that basically, I think that they're triggered that they won't stop going off until you get up or something. Yeah, I don't know what they're called. I think it's actually like a floor alarm clock or something. You have to actually step out onto it.
Yeah, the ones that run away from you.
I think so, yeah. So, I mean, even that is just a little trigger to get you out of bed, because a lot of people do this thing, and I do this so much, but you snooze your alarm. But instead of you thinking that that's actually benefiting you, 5 more minutes in bed, 2 more minutes in bed, you're now sleeping 20 times in one night or in one morning, because you're waking up, going to sleep, waking up, instead of just literally just getting yourself out of bed in one go. You'll be less tired if you get up when you feel like you can't than you do if you just keep snoozing your alarm.
And leading on from that as well, like because you're actually physically getting up and getting the alarm, you're actually you actually have to think if you want to get one of the. I couldn't get one. I get too angry. I would have thrown it out the window. But they're quite cool, you know. I've seen them. They're quite funny. Like one I saw was like it goes off and then it hides from you.
Technology, eh?
But yeah, well, technology, has it gone too far? Yeah, and leading on from that as well, mate, I think you might have this on your list as well. Going to the gym really helps.
Yeah, well, and I can't preach it enough, but gym has been my mental health saviour for the last 3 years, the amount of time that I've been going. And I can't remember who I was talking to, but I said that I can't remember the last time I missed even, there was a week that I didn't go to gym at least once or twice.
Yeah.
I cannot remember that.
Oh, sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. Don't hurt me. Sorry.
Obviously, during COVID, there was that, but I was still working out pretty much every single day.
Yeah, so it's really cool as well. I mean, like, you might feel like, oh, I'm just going to the gym, everything's quite bleak, because I've been in that state of mind before, but kind of work towards a goal maybe for spring or summer. You want to lose some weight or whatever.
Yeah, and it even just the simple thing of getting out of the house just to go to somewhere like the gym, it changes your mindset, your mood as well. It gives you like a goal, something to reach for as well, doesn't it? So like you're not just moping around inside the house. It gives you a reason to get out. So
I'll tell you one thing as well, because obviously mornings, I don't know what time it starts getting bright in the morning, probably like 8, I think you said, Naf, didn't you?
Well, so not like, now, but you mean in the winter? Yeah.
One of the best things is going out for a run in the morning when it's dark. Like, it's a bit obviously in a safe area, depending on where you are, but going for a run in the dark when everybody else like seems like they're asleep is like, it's actually, you get such an ego boost from it.
Oh yeah, you do. Even in the summer, like I know that if I was ever to go for a run in the morning, I'd feel so rejuvenated and feel like there's a level of productiveness in my life.
Yeah.
You're completely right there. That's a good thing. Even a walk, like people have dogs, don't they? Pets and stuff. Take your pet for a walk early in the morning. It will just wake you up a little.
Yeah, I always found that when I was commuting to work in last winter, like because I had to walk like a fair bit, that really did wake me up, and it really helped set my mind straight, because I'm one of those people that it takes my mind quite a while to actually get
adjust.
Up and, adjust. So a walk, you are right, a walk is brilliant, and especially if it's in the cold as well, it wakes you the hell up.
Oh, exactly. And it just starts your day off right, because a lot of people get in this little bubble, and people probably use the weekends for this, where they wake up late and it hits like 12, 1 o'clock, you're not out of bed yet. And I've always been one of them people that has been like, I can't waste my day like that. Like I have to get up early. Like the whole of lockdown, that I'm a bit bad at the moment because I'm doing intermittent fasting, so my sleep schedule's a bit shitty. But the whole of lockdown and when we stopped working and stuff, I made sure that I was up early. Like every single day, even on the weekends, I was up making breakfast. I made my mum breakfast most days. It just gave me a feeling of actually achieving something, rather than getting out of bed at 12 o'clock and not having done anything.
Yeah, there's nothing worse than that. No, like I find that I mean, the latest I get up in the morning is probably about 9, and speaking to some people, and they're like, "Why are you're not even working? Why are you getting up so early?" It's like, because I feel like the day's wasted if I go to get up.
Exactly, yeah. Like think about it. We have 24 hours in a day. Why waste 12 of them sleeping?
Yeah.
I mean, I do love sleep, but I don't get enough of it. But it's just, I feel like there's so much you can do with your time that can benefit you more, and it can just help your mental health as well to be busy, which we always say.
Definitely, mate. Okay. Any others?
A cure, it says, for most people, sitting in front of a light box for between 15 and 45. Oh, so our manager at work had one of these, didn't he? This little bright light beam thing on your desk, and it just gives you a sense of natural light.
Really?
Yeah. Do you not remember? No. Anyway, basically it's like this little lamp, but it's like exceedingly bright, and it's like a way of therapy, and it allows you to you don't stare at it, but it allows you to have sufficient amount of like natural light that it wakes your body up.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if you not heard of them. They are called light boxes.
No, I'll have to get one actually.
But they're really helpful for people that sitting at desks and stuff, or in an office all day, and they're not really going out. That little light box can kind of, as I said before, rejuvenate you.
Okay.
But yeah, that's a really good thing to suggest, actually.
Okay. They're called light boxes, are they?
Yeah, it just says it's sitting in front of a light box for between 15 and 45 minutes a day.
Okay. Is that what I was on about with the body clock thing, or is it slightly different?
No, this is completely different. It's like an actual beam light. They're called like they are these Lumi things. Oh, maybe you're right.
Yeah.
Is it the same thing then?
It might be, yeah.
You stupid.
Oh, maybe it is. Yeah, I'm just looking now. There's one for like 75 quid. Yeah, okay, maybe that was the same thing. I got a bit excited there.
Yeah, I might have to get one this winter, you know.
Yeah, it could help. What else is there? There was the sleep thing as well. I don't know if your sleep schedule changes at all during winter.
Yeah, I feel like I want to stay in bed a lot longer.
Yeah, I think as well, I'm a late sleeper anyway. Like I actually sleep at like 2 to 4 a.m. and then wake up at like 9.
You're mad.
I know, and I don't really get enough sleep at all. But I feel like in the winter, it makes you tired quicker as such.
Yeah.
And you fall asleep quicker, and you don't want to really stay up. I don't know. Maybe that's just me.
Yeah, I'm normally, like when I was working at our company, probably asleep by about 11.
I do remember you saying that, actually, yeah.
Yeah, in asleep at about 11, and then probably up at 6:45, 7.
Yeah. But whereas I was up at the same time as you, but I was yeah, I'm always sleeping after. I can't remember the last time I slept before 12.
Mad, mate.
I just can't remember. I don't know, maybe that affects me more than I think.
I think it will do, mate. You go to bed before 12, trust me.
A lot of people have said this, that I need to focus more on my sleep, because even for gym and stuff, your body doesn't cope well without enough like rest.
No, it doesn't, mate. It doesn't. I remember going. If we were at the same place we worked, if I was going to bed at 1 a.m. every night, I'd be destroyed for the rest of the day.
Yeah, I think I've just gotten used to it, and that's my body clock now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's that.
But like there's other treatments I've got here. So there's obviously talking therapy, such as cognitive behavioral therapy or counselling, antidepressants, selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors, or SSRIs for short. They can be helpful. SSRIs are actually fantastic if it's just a change in your environment, not something that's like happening to you, happenstance or something. They can be really helpful for.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. I can't get my words out and like express what I'm trying to say, but they're quite good, and I've had experience of using those sometimes. It says avoid stressful situations and take steps to manage stress. That's easier said than done, but at the same time, like meditation can be great for that. Scheduling your day, doing not rushing things all at once. I know if people are back at uni now or back at school, don't rush things, take things one step at a time, have a schedule and have a plan and work with that in a
I
structure.
think leading on from that, Sam, maybe more so in the winter than summer, the idea of that we've always implemented of making a list and stuff and writing things down to schedule your day, like you just mentioned.
Yeah.
Maybe that could be something that could get you out of that depressive loop as well.
Yeah, just have even if you just schedule it on your alarms.
Exactly, yeah, like a reminder on your phone, like by 12 o'clock, make sure you have your, make sure you complete, 500 steps or 1,000 steps by 12 o'clock or something.
Yeah, perfect.
Just little goals can make you feel like you're achieving something.
Yeah, it's the same what I did today. So obviously I was doing some stuff because I'm technically still employed there. So for old work, I was doing that today. Did my washing, went to the doctors just to sign up, and just little things like that made me feel like I've done something.
Yeah, and you've not wasted the day and like just let it become a long list of things that you need to do.
Yeah, and it's useful. So eat a healthy and balanced diet. Obviously, I mean, towards winter months, I know I like to crave chocolate and crave all the crap.
Yeah.
Around this time, and generally around this time of year, I do put on weight. But maybe it's time to turn the tables and start eating healthy.
But that is you already know that winter's approaching. This is the time I get a bit too comfortable, mate. Like you just said, this is the year that you prove yourself wrong, really.
Yeah, it is, and I have been doing a little bit better as well with eating. But it's generally around Christmas time because we're inside. If it's socially, I go out and drink a little bit more with mates. Not crazy. Family meals and cooking and stuff. Friends meals and that.
Yeah. I also think we don't often say it on most of the topics we talk about, but sometimes isolating yourself can be quite a positive thing. Having some me time, having some self-therapy and actually thinking about things, just maybe, in a positive way rather than...
Yeah, no, that's good. I'd call it, you could reflecting time.
Yeah, self-reflection.
Self-reflecting, yeah. That's because in hindsight, during this lockdown, there's been a lot. I've done the most self-reflecting I've ever done in my entire life.
You have, yeah.
And I know that's probably been the same case with you in some instances, and the same with a couple of my friends as well. And
I think it's where we've been kind of conformed to being on our own for a lot of this year. It just gives you time to kind of think about what you're actually doing with your life, kind of.
Yes. And
setting yourself some like achievement goals, and like by the end of this year I want to at least have done this or done that, and just having that time to think about it and making some decisions you probably wouldn't have made if you were busy is quite important, because as much as we shouldn't dwell on things, we should also be practical thinkers and think how we can be productive with the rest of the time that we've got.
Yeah, I'm starting to. That's actually put a thought in my head now. Like, because there's sorry, bless me.
Coronavirus.
There's New Year resolutions that happen in January.
Yeah, that's a great thing to mention. Yeah,
the New Year's resolutions, mate, start now.
Yeah, and that's what cliche as it sounds. Everyone says, obviously, new year, new me, but we shouldn't be waiting for a milestone like a new year to make a change, because if you already know you need to do something, why don't you just do it?
Yeah, don't procrastinate.
Exactly. That is a big thing that I think winter causes as well, procrastination.
Yeah, especially in December as well, because you've got holidays coming up. You go,
we'll do it in the new year. It's all right. We'll get that done then. Don't worry about it. And then it just becomes an ever long list of things you need to do.
Yeah, and then it burns off by like March.
Yeah. And I think as well, if you if you set yourself a New Year's resolution, there's nothing wrong with that because most people do kind of stick to them. But you're kind of setting yourself a time limit. You're like, well, I'm going to start off by doing this, but I know that I won't complete it. So it's just kind of like an ego boost to yourself.
Yeah, definitely. I know I quit smoking, my New Year's resolution, but I equally could have quit it before that, and I kind of regret not doing it before that. I was just waiting.
Yeah, but what are you waiting for when you know it's already a negative thing to do?
Sorry?
I said, but what were you waiting for when you know it's a negative thing to do?
I was procrastinating because I still wanted to smoke up to that point.
Yeah. But then you had time to reflect, and you've not done it now. So
yeah, pretty much. I don't really. I mean, yeah, I don't touch it now at all. I just vape like no one's business. Thomas the vape engine.
But yeah, no, that's good.
There's one here that says sit near your windows when you're indoors.
Okay.
So a lot of people are going to be working at home. Try and position your workplace next to a window. Have it open. Breathe in natural air.
Yeah, or even I think we mentioned this. Did we mention this last week of having like indoor plants in your room and stuff?
Yeah, that's perfect. Definitely, yeah, I like that as well. Make your work and your home environment as light and airy as possible.
Yeah, I think as well with plants, it's kind of like a little pet, isn't it? You've got to make sure you water it, you look after it, and that can itself be like a little routine that you can make yourself do. So like you can tell yourself, I'm going to wake up at 9 o'clock or 8 o'clock every morning and make sure I water my plants. So I need to get out of bed, get the water, do this, do that, clean the tray. You know what I mean? Like it gives you a little to-do list.
Yeah, I've got 2 cactuses in here.
I thought you said they nearly died.
Yeah, they did. I don't know if they're dead yet. They look fine. They're still. I mean, you can't really ask a cactus how it's doing.
Nah, they're just pricks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so moving on from that dad joke, I think we've kind of covered what you could have covered for this kind of topic.
Yeah, pretty much. It trails into depression. It trails into anxiety and everything. Diet, medication, all that.
Yeah, it's funny because as I was leaving gym today, earlier, I bumped into Ben, who was on the pod, obviously a couple of episodes ago, and he asked me, "Oh, what's the topic on today?" Blah blah blah, and I obviously mentioned seasonal depression, and he was like sad, and he said that he felt the exact same. Like these miserable days, they drag you down, and it just goes to show that it's not just us going through it. There are so many people that feel the exact same way, but we've listed quite a few things that can help you overcome that feeling of sadness.
Yeah, I've done a good job. There's not much more we can talk about.
Yeah. So should we cap it there?
Yes, mate.
Well, that was a nice and short one. The intro is going to be a good one. So please remember to follow our social pages at Just Mates Pod. Subscribe to our YouTube. If you're listening to us now, please make sure you like it, and just subscribe. There's not much else really. But we're on 50 subscribers now, Sam, which doesn't sound like a lot, but it's...
Did we hit 50?
Yeah, we hit 50 yesterday.
Booyah!
I mean, it's not massive, but can we please get that to 100 by the end of the year, you reckon?
Or the end of today.
Or the end of today. Maybe we need to put up some Insta posts again.
Yeah, I think so. And I think you had just for people listening, we're going to do something, episode 20, just to cap it off and then see where we can go from there. Because I think we might need to change some things up going forward after that.
Routine-wise, and it might not be possible to do every Friday, but I think for the lockdown period, we have been bloody consistent. A lot of people have said to me that they cannot believe that we've been doing it week in, week out.
Yeah,
It's a lot of people think that it's probably just easy. It's a lot of work.
Yeah, it is it's a lot of work for you, mate. So,
but I look forward to Mondays purely because I know that I'm recording the pod, and obviously just for listeners, we record on Monday, edit during the week, release a promo vid on Wednesday, and then release the episodes on every Friday. So I don't think we've missed a Friday.
Yeah, exactly.
We haven't missed one at all.
No, routine, mate, innit?
Exactly. It's what we preach.
Yeah, I think we should do a recording one, actually. I know I've been saying it for a couple of weeks now, but maybe you come to me and we'll do like another video series one. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, definitely we should do that. So yeah, thanks for listening again, guys. Episode 18 on seasonal depression. Thanks. I've been Nafees.
I've been Sam.
And we'll see you later.
See you later.
Bye. See you later. Huh?
See you later. Bye.